Right, what we're going to talk about today is the selection of a shoe. We often get asked here at Waikato Podiatry Clinic, what should I look for in a good shoe? And we sometimes get asked on advice on different brands and those sorts of things. So what we do as part of our philosophy is we break it down into three simple features, which is fit, function, and feel. Okay, fit would seem reasonably straightforward, but is often compromised around some of the other aesthetic presentations of a shoe, or limitation in sizing available, or just that the foot is very wide and hard to access good footwear for. So we're looking at the width and through here, and we're looking at the length obviously, and sometimes the heel shape as well from a fit perspective. So we don't want any heel slip, we want it to fit the midfoot and particularly fit the forefoot. If it doesn't fit properly up here, it's going to impinge on the toes and on the metatarsals and through the forefoot here, and that's going to squeeze those and it's going to drop them down. It's just going to be uncomfortable. All right, so you can get these days, particularly in some of the Asics brands and New Balance, is that you'll get a range of different width options, and you fold the tongue out, you can see it on the inside here. It's either a 2E or a 4E or a D, or even sometimes a 6E in the biggest ones. So that's fit. Really important. You can't compromise on fit. Okay. The other thing that we look at in the fit, which is the toe box. So you'll see the toe box up and through here. This is a slightly rounder variety. This is a slightly narrower variety here, or more pointed. Okay. So some people have a lot of width in their feet that extends quite distally, which means they need to have a rounder sort of toe box. All right. Function. So function really is a little bit more technical, but basically what it means is that if your foot is angled in like that, which is sometimes referred to as supinated, means that the pressure is going to be more on the outside of the shoe. If it's pronated or it tends to lean in, it's going to be more on the inside of the shoe. If you weigh 120 kilograms, then you're going to need a midsole, that's this part of the shoe here, that is more stable and of higher integrity than someone who weighs 60 kilograms, for example. They're not going to compress this midsole or wear the shoe as aggressively as a heavier person. Like we talked about, if the person is going to pronate on the shoe, it means that there's going to be more pressure on the inside material of the shoe. And so what we look for as far as function is that the shoe is in the same category as the foot. So someone who pronates a lot and is going to wear the shoe heavily on the inside has a shoe that's got some features that provide some degree of stability and some degree of added integrity to the inside of the shoe. If we don't have like for like as far as foot type and shoe, what we can get is we can get premature wear of the shoe, and that can sometimes cause balance issues, and it can sometimes cause functional issues as well. And that what can happen, for example, if we had someone who had a very supinated foot and they compressed the shoe to rolling out like that, is that it actually magnifies the angle of the foot and it increases that whole load down in the outside there. So that can cause problems with tendons and things running down the outside of the foot. Okay, so midsole from a functional perspective is important. We're quite lucky these days in that we have a range of shoes. Asics is particularly good with the diversity of sports shoes that they have available, and this is a netball specific shoe. So netball is quite distinct in that it's not a heel to toe type of movement. It's very much a side to side, sudden back, sudden forward, those types of things. So it's a multi-directional type of shoe. All right, so this is choosing a sports specific sort of shoe from a functional perspective. All right, is important. And it also means that the lacing, the fixation, the arch contour, the outsole, all those features are consistent with what you want to try and have from your shoe. Now the feel is really the X factor. So some people feel that they like to feel the ground, they like a firmer midsole, and they like to feel the shoe working hard on the ground. Others would rather run on a cushion or a pillow. So they really like the softer, the more cushioning feel of shoes. Unfortunately, sometimes there is a bit of a compromise between function and feel, and it's about going to somewhere like, say, the shoe clinic, having a chat with them and giving them your feedback on how the shoe feels as well as how it looks. And I say compromise between the feel and the function. For example, if we had a very neutral, soft pair of Skechers and we weighed 120 kilos and had a foot that was severely inverted, we would likely compress that area of the shoe very, very quickly, fall off the side of it and ruin the shoe. So it would be a waste of time and money. So density of the material is inversely proportionate to durability. The softer it is, particularly if you're a heavy person, not always, but if you're a heavy person, the less life it's going to have. All right, so that's our 3 features that we look for, which is fit, function, and feel. And we use those as good bases for footwear selection.